Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa meeting with the Prime Minister Modi has snowballed speculations about leadership change. India Today has learnt that Yediyurappa offered to quit the Chief Minister's position, citing health reasons, and also pitched for a bigger role for his son in the central government. The negotiations are still underway, but Yediyurappa has assured that he is going to be following the Prime Minister's instructions. Meanwhile, after reaching Bengaluru, Karnataka Chief Minister Yediyurappa has played down all the reports of his impending resignation. Here's more coming in.
As change of guard chorus in Karnataka reaches a crescendo, Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa's meeting with Prime Minister Modi on Friday seems to have set the ball in motion. India Today sources reveal that Yediyurappa is ready to resign if all his conditions are met. Yediyurappa has demanded a central role for his MP son B.Y. Raghavendran and pivotal role for his son Vijayendra in the state. The negotiations are still underway, and Yediyurappa has assured that he will follow Prime Minister Modi's instructions. Yediyurappa will only resign after completing 2 years in office, which is due on July 26th, and a new Chief Minister could take oath by August. Yediyurappa has played down all the murmurs of leadership change in Karnataka and has called for a legislative party meet on 26th of July, the day he completes 2 years in office.
ಈಗಿರೋ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಯಾವುದೇ ಗೊಂದಲ ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ. ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ನಾಯಕರು ನೀವು ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಯಾಗಿ ಮುಂದುವರೆದು ಪಕ್ಷವನ್ನು ಬಲಪಡಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾವ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾದಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯ. ಇದುವರೆಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಗ್ಗಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಸೂಚನೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
Yediyurappa also met the top leadership of the party, including JP Nadda and Rajnath Singh. There was one more twist before Yediyurappa's return to Karnataka's capital. While heading to airport, Yediyurappa got a call and he took a U-turn to meet Home Minister Amit Shah.
He asked me to work hard to come back to power in Karnataka.
Kannada, sir.
And also in Lok Sabha election also must win more seats.
According to reports, Yediyurappa's succession plan started with induction of Chief Minister's close aide Shobha Karandlaje in the Union Cabinet. B.L. Santosh and Prahlad Joshi have emerged as the top contenders for Chief Minister's post. But a Brahmin face will be a bold move given the caste semantics of the state. Sources also revealed that with exit of Yediyurappa, a major reshuffle in BJP's Karnataka unit is also on the cards. Facing flack from several BJP lawmakers over handling COVID, non-performance and graft charges, all eyes on action plan of BJP top brass to secure victory in 2023 assembly polls. With inputs from Nagarjun Dwarkanath in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, India Today.
There's breaking news just coming in right there. Former Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy has questioned Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa, has said that Yediyurappa carried with him 6 large bags on his special flight to Delhi, but only 2 people went. He added, and I quote, was Yediyurappa carrying 6 bags full of documents on issues faced by Karnataka, or was it something else? Unquote.
The information, our special flight nalleno our ಮಗ ಮತ್ತಿನ್ಯಾರು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಫ್ಲೈಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ 6 ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ಗಳಿತ್ತು ಅಂದರು. ನನಗೆ ಬಂದಂಥ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ನು ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ಗಳು 6 ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು. ಹೋಗಿರೋದಿಬ್ಬರೇ ಹೋದಂಥದ್ದು. ಅಂದರೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನು ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾಪ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನು 6 ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು. ಮತ್ತದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಏನು ತುಂಬಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
ಈಗ ಸಿಎಂ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಕಪ್ಪ ಕಾಣಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು
ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ನೆನ್ನೆ ದಿನ ವಿಶೇಷ ವಿಮಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮಟ್ಟದ 6 ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ಗಳಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಇದೆ.
Punjab power tussle rages on as hectic parleys continue in the state amongst the Congress netas. Captain Amarinder Singh met Navjot Singh Sidhu's arch rival Pratap Singh Bajwa and State Assembly Speaker Rana KP Singh last night to explore his last resort. Both Bajwa and Captain have been opposing the possible appointment of Sidhu as the Congress president. Meanwhile, sources tell India Today that Sidhu is gearing up to take charge as state's Congress president. He is likely to visit Golden Temple in Amritsar after the official announcement. Sources have also claimed that Sidhu's close aides believe an official announcement may take place today. This is coming after Sidhu chaired a marathon meeting with Congress netas yesterday, likely gathering support for himself, while Amarinder met Punjab Congress in charge Harish Rawat, ruling out the truce with Sidhu without a public apology. However, he did assure that the decision taken by the top brass is going to be followed. Rajasthan BJP meanwhile is split wide open. Rohitashav Sharma, a former Rajasthan minister and key loyalist of former Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje, has been expelled from the Bharatiya Janata Party for making an anti-party statement. This is coming in after Sharma made pro-Raje remarks, saying that the former Rajasthan Chief Minister was more popular in the state. Sharma also accused the state BJP leadership of lack of efforts in reaching out to the people during this pandemic. State BJP Chief Satish Punia has warned party workers that action is going to be taken against those who speak against the party and show the leadership in bad light.
मुझे अफसोस इस बात का है कि लोगों ने अपनी व्यक्तिगत रंजिश को निकालने के लिए मुझे पार्टी से निकाला है। इसमें कोई पार्टी का दोष नहीं है। उन्होंने पद का दुरुपयोग किया। जिन लोगों के हाथ में आज कमान है उनको मेरी व्यक्तिगत रंजिश थी और उन्होंने मेरे को पार्टी से निकाला है। मैं कोई डरने वाला नहीं हूँ। मैं लड़ाई लड़ूंगा और मेरी सत्यता और मैं निर्दोष हूँ इसको साबित करूंगा। कांग्रेस में जाने वाला नहीं हूँ। अपने को निर्दोष साबित करने के लिए बड़े नेताओं से मिलूंगा। नरेंद्र भाई मोदी, अमित शाह और नड्डा जी पर मुझे विश्वास है कि वो मेरे साथ न्याय करेंगे।
Kanwar Singh in Uttar Pradesh, that is Kanwar Yatra in Uttar Pradesh, has called off the annual pilgrimage. The decision was taken after consultation with Yogi government amidst the concerns of a COVID pandemic. However, the UP government is yet to make an official announcement. The decision comes just days after Supreme Court asked the UP government to overholding Kanwar Yatra. The Supreme Court has said that the right to life is paramount and all other sentiments, even religious, are subservient to this most basic fundamental right. The Yogi government will inform the Apex Court tomorrow about the decision to call off the Kanwar Yatra. Last year too, Kanwar Yatra was cancelled. The Yatra was to be scheduled to be held from 25th of July. The Kerala government has eased restrictions across the state even as cases are rising. The state government has increased the daily limit of pilgrims permitted for this year's Sabrimala Puja from 5,000 to 10,000 devotees. Only 5,000 devotees were allowed earlier due to COVID limitations. The state government's move comes even as the state reported 16,148 fresh COVID cases on Saturday, with the test positivity rising to 10.76%. The state government also permitted opening up of electronic shops and film shooting. A negative RT-PCR was also not required for the interstate travel and attending examinations for people who have received 2 doses of COVID vaccine. Even as the cases dip in India, a top ICMR scientist has sounded off alarm over potential third wave. Dr. Samiran Panda has warned that the country could soon witness a third wave that could lead to over 1 lakh cases per day. Take a look at this report coming in.
These scenes will forever haunt us.
जो भी बोल रहा है कि ऑक्सीजन अवेलेबल है, सब झूठ बोल रहे हैं. There is total chaos.
India faced one of its worst health crises. People gasped for breath. Crematoriums and graveyards ran out of land. And just when people were getting back on their feet, the third COVID wave is likely to hit us in weeks from now. Top ICMR scientist Dr. Samiran Panda has warned that the onset of the third wave could begin as early as August.
There is a possibility of third wave if it happens early. The earliest time when it could happen is August and near end August, I would say. And then the wave of it, the peak of it, would not be as high as India witnessed during the second wave.
He also said that 1 lakh daily cases could be recorded during the next surge.
Somewhere between 1 and 2 lakh, per day. So that's if everything else remains, same as we are facing now. But if there is a new variant which is capable of escaping the immunity and at the same time has the ability to get transmitted very fast, that particular variant might even have a wave which would be equal in height in terms of the second wave or even bigger.
The slow rate of vaccination and ease of restrictions could lead to this surge. However, the government is confident that 50 crore doses will be administered before August, and that may help in preventing the third wave from wreaking havoc.
यहाँ भी दिखाया गया है कि जुलाई तक 50 करोड़ या उससे ऊपर की डोजेस हमारे पास उपलब्ध का विजिबिलिटी थी और वो लगभग उसी तरीके से चला हुआ है.
However, there's a rise in COVID cases, which is a big cause of worry, and the next 100 to 125 days are critical. Prime Minister Modi too urged chief ministers of 6 worst-hit states on Friday to take proactive measures to keep a check and control the rise in the number of cases.
देश के अधिकांश राज्यों में केसेस की संख्या जिस तरह कम हुई थी, विशेषज्ञ इस डाउनवर्ड ट्रेंड को देखकर उम्मीद भी कर रहे थे कि जल्द ही देश दूसरी लहर से पूरी तरह बाहर आ जाएगा. लेकिन कुछ राज्यों में केसेस की बढ़ती हुई संख्या अभी भी चिंताजनक बनी हुई है.
So how can we prevent the third wave from turning lethal? Go get vaccinated, keep wearing your mask and maintain social distancing and avoid crowds. And only leave your house when it is absolutely essential. Together we can, and together we will beat COVID.
ICMR's own study shows that amongst its volunteers, 86% of the breakthrough infections, which means infections after getting 2 full doses of the vaccine, was caused by the Delta variant. Lesser number of people after getting vaccinated and infected by COVID-19, especially the Delta variant, are landing up in hospital, and the number of deaths has also come down. Hence, the severity of the third wave is not going to be as much as the second wave, is what the prediction is. In New Delhi, Sneha Mordani for India Today.
A day before the monsoon session of the Parliament, Centre has called for an all-party meeting that is going to be attended by Prime Minister Modi. The monsoon session of the Parliament is going to be from 19th July to 13th August. The Centre is expected to introduce 17 bills this session, while 9 bills are listed for passage. This is going to be the first session post the catastrophic second COVID wave, and the opposition is expected to raise multiple issues such as COVID management, slow vaccination pace and increasing fuel prices. With only days to go for world's biggest sporting spectacle, the organizers of Tokyo Olympics have confirmed the first case of COVID-19 in the Games Village. Amidst growing concerns that the Olympics could turn out to be a super spreader event, it was revealed that an overseas visitor tested positive for the deadly virus at the village, where thousands of athletes and officials will stay for the duration of the Games. Here's the full story coming in.
Tokyo 2020 is struggling to emerge out of the shadows of the pandemic. With less than a week to go for the opening of the Games, an unidentified overseas visitor at the Tokyo Olympics athletes' village has tested positive. While the person's nationality wasn't revealed, citing privacy concerns, Tokyo 2020 CEO Toshiro Muto confirmed that the individual has been taken into quarantine outside the village.
それからもう一つスクリーニングテストで選手村にいた人が一人感染したという初めてのケースが報告されました。でこの人は昨日の PCR 検査で陽性だということなんですけれども、今はホテルに収容されています。
The Tokyo Olympics have been marred by controversy, with Japan struggling to put a stop to the COVID surge. Only a few days back, a COVID cluster was found at a hotel housing Brazil's Olympians. And even the South African rugby team members had to isolate after a case was reported on their flight. With athletes, officials and even contractors testing positive, already the number of COVID cases linked to the games is closing in on a half-century. The resurgence in infections and new variants has got the Japanese public worried. Considering there will be a huge influx of foreign visitors for the games, many are worried that the Olympics will turn into a super spreader event.
オリンピックを盛り上げるために、なんで地方自治体がみんなお金払って、地方の人たちが金出して盛り上げてるのかと思ってですね、東京に住んでる者としてやっぱりやめさせたいと思ってきたけど、結局東京まで来ちゃって、もうちょっと行動のリレーは中止になりましたけど、もうこういうイベントもやめてほしいし、もうオリンピックもう今すぐ中止してほしいと思って声を上げに来ました。
More than 11,000 athletes from 205 national Olympic committees are scheduled to compete at the Olympics, but many have already pulled out of the games. While the organizers say there are proper contingencies in place in case of an outbreak, the rising numbers don't paint an encouraging picture at all. Sports Bureau, India Today.
So, wrap from